Hi, I want to show you something really cool and really fun. So I was trying to figure out fine tuning LLMs, how they work, how much you can go far with them, how exactly is the coding process and everything. And my chats were open, so I just happened to peek upon that, and I noticed something. So I noticed emojis are pretty fun, expressive, but really ridiculously efficient. Just think about it. When was the last time you actually went on and acknowledge a text from someone by saying, "Yeah, that sounds great," or "Okay, sure." Uh, you just did this. You just used a thumbs up emoji, and that was perfectly acceptable in both professional and personal settings. So that's really awesome. So what came to my mind is that it's very efficient to use emojis. So one thing that came to my head because my LLMs were going on in my mind is that if LLMs would inherently use emojis, it's not that they don't use emojis, they do, but they can actually think of Gen Z style emoji using the way we use. If they went on with that could really change things. So this might not fit all use cases, but it could literally reduce the latency cost, the inferencing cost, the latency time, actually latency delay, the inferencing cost, and yes, just overall token usage would just drop ridiculously. Like let me give you some examples. I just asked ChatGPT to give me some examples, and look at this. Good morning wishes to you, and that can convert into this. So that's just 10 tokens to 4 tokens, and this can actually just be even one token actually. So do you want to go to a gym later? Yes, let's go at 6 p.m. So something like that. And these are pretty good good response. And when you think about these are really good compressions of the whole thing. So that's why I decided to build EmoGPT. EmoGPT is a fine-tuned model which is designed to use emojis as its inherent responding style. And yeah, let me just show you EmoGPT, how it looks like, how it works. It's not great. First of all, I'm still figuring out fine-tuning. I don't know the whole process. I don't know the whole mechanics. I just scrambled some code here and there, made my own custom data set, and I trained it. But it's decent. It's a pretty good start. Let me show you. So yeah, this is EmojiBT. So let me just ask, who is Einstein? I hope I'm responding correctly. But yeah, so this is what I was talking about. This is something very efficient. Now this is a 4 billion parameter model, so it's not very great, which I fine tuned. So if you find so for context, most probably you might be using 120 billion. Or 20 billion. The chat gpt models they released recently was 20 billion and 120 billion. So these are large models. These are very good for all sorts of use cases, and this is something which you might have used. But there are some shorter models, slms, and models which are designed for being quick and efficient. So I just used 4 billion model. It's mostly because it's easier to fine tune, and I'm using free hardware. So yeah, and but this is pretty great. This is what I was talking about. So this doesn't fit all use cases, but this can be pretty cool. One thing that comes to my mind is those real life interactive things. Have you seen those toys, those AI robot toys? Let me show you something if I can able to find that AI robot toys. So yeah, these things actually have very interactive things. So if they are running GPT, something like that, if they use EmoGPT or something like that, that could really make it more efficient. Imagine if for conversing, first of all, they need to be expressive, so they don't need to be using too much text. That text is not very expressive when you think about it. And conversational AI is very expensive. So EmoGPT can actually be a very good middleware, good inferencing cost, very reasonable, and very quick actually. So it's a very good start. But yeah, and that's how this is. Um, Let me try on something. Again, this can go very wrong actually. So is sun hot or cold? Let me just ask something basic. Again, this is a 4 billion parameter thing. So it's yeah, this is a great response actually. This is considerably a pretty good response, I would say. And when you think about this, if you're using any other LLM or any other model, this you would be getting a very long response even for basic things like that. So let me go over the process and let me show you how I build this. Let me give you a sneak peek on the whole process. And yeah, so first of all, let me also show you what the difference actually looks like. So I have this original data set. So this is a data set which is you used to train LLMs. This is a normal NLP data set with an instruction and a context and a response. So this is what the AI is supposed to respond. And yeah, this is a simple Q&A data set. This is pretty simple. And then I built a parser which would convert this response into an emoji based response, the one I was looking for. So it would look something like this. So when did Virgin Airline start operating? So the solution would be this, and it's pretty cool. It tries to keep everything, every context, every details in here, and then it just converted into emojis. The more efficient examples would be this one. At least parents have three daughters, Amy, Jessie, and what's the name of the third daughter? The name of the third daughter is Elise. So yeah, so it's just, I guess, what do you can say? Uh, it's much shorter. It's much less tokens considered to this one. So yeah, that these are all these points. Let me show you a bit of a difference. So um, I tried to plot the tokens. This is a simple token counter I built, and for every response, this is the normal response, the blue bar which you're looking, and this is the emoji response. So emoji response used considerably less tokens across. I mean, this came after I had to fine tune my prompts a bit more to uh, get better emoji response. But yeah, I was able to get a very considerable rate. So for most use cases, I would see. Let me give a better graph. Yeah. So for most use cases, I will actually see um, a considerable loss of token counts, and compared to how I started in the start, it was not very reliable, but by the end I was able to get a very considerable rate. So for most use cases I was able to reduce the token count by a lot. Let me show you how the parcel looked like. So the parcel is very simple. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the original data set, which is this one. Yeah, the original text one. I am using the gamma to 9 billion parameter, and I'm just telling it to just convert it into a emoji based answers, while keeping the factual accuracy, clarity, and coherence. And yeah, these are some rules, and it is just parsing. It's a very simple code, and it just created this whole data set. Now using this data set, what I did was I took a 4 billion parameter model. This is the coin 3 4 billion instruct model. It's a pretty cool model. And it was and I started fine tuning. So I'm using unslot, which is pretty good and pretty efficient. It So for limited resources, this is one of the best ways you can go for fine tuning. I still have to figure out a lot more things, but yeah. So these are pretty base values, so you can understand how I went about going with this thing. But yeah, so mm, yeah, this is the model. So well, it was pretty easy. The whole process was to fine tuning this model. I can go over the code. I still have to understand a lot from myself. I scrambled some code from here and there, but yeah, this is how Emoji-Putty was made. This is what the idea behind Emoji-Putty was, and I was able to get some pretty good results when you think about it. When you look at this chart, you can realize that okay, a lot of times emoji responses can actually be very efficient, and 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 it was a pretty fun experiment. I think I can write a bit more about it, and I think if it is formalized and it is fine tuned a bit more, then it can be pretty cool. And yeah, that's all I had to share. There's not much to it. I just prepared a data set, fine tuned it using Unslot AI, and there's not much more. And it's pretty easy. You can also try to recreate this, and I will also try to publish something a bit more like a paper, of not very formal, but something so that I can actually talk more about it. Because this was a pretty good exploration. Because I realized, okay, emojis can actually play a lot of important role, and there's a lot of real life use cases where it can actually come handy. And that's the story of Emoji-Putty, and that's all I wanted to share. There's not much more. And yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope you really enjoyed this whole thing, and probably you might want to build something like this and explore more about it. If you have any views, just comment or type about it. So yeah, that's it. Bye bye.